The Whispering Walls of Westwood. Have you ever walked into a room and felt like the walls were talking to you? Not in some spooky, ghost-hunting way, but with a quiet wisdom that nudges you towards something bigger. Welcome to the Whispering Walls of Westwood, a place that is more than just bricks and mortar. I'm your guide, and today we're peeling back the layers of a tiny town that taught me how to turn dreams into action. Stick around, because by the end, you'll hear the whispers too, and they might just change your life. Picture this. Westwood, a sleepy hamlet tucked between rolling hills and whispering pines, where everyone knows your name, but not always your story. I grew up there, a lanky kid with big ideas and zero clue how to make them happen. The town's old walls, cracked from decades of weather covered in ivy, seemed to hold secrets. One summer, at 16, I decided to listen. I started jotting down goals on scraps of paper. Learn guitar, start a blog, save for a trip. Theory says goal setting boosts motivation by 42%. But practically, I just wanted to prove I wasn't all talk. Spoiler, those walls had my back. Now, let's talk about my first lesson from those whispering walls. Action beats perfection. I grabbed a cheap guitar from a garage sale, all out of tune and missing a string. My first strum sounded like a catfight. My neighbor, Mrs. Hattie, poked her head out and yelled, "Boy, that's a cry for help." We laughed, and she became my unofficial coach. The theory here? Small, consistent steps build habits. Studies show it takes 66 days on average. Practically, I practiced 15 minutes daily, and by month 2, I could play Sweet Home Alabama without scaring the dog. Humor kept me going. Every bad note was a story to share. Real-life tip: start messy, laugh at the flops, and keep strumming. Then came the blog. I wanted to write about Westwood's quirks, its annual pie festival, the one-legged statue in the square. But I hit a wall, literally and figuratively. The town's old library had a crumbling wall with faded graffiti. Dream big. It hit me. Perfectionism was my enemy. So I posted my first blog, clunky, full of typos, about Mrs. Hattie's prize-winning peach pie. To my shock, it got 50 views in a week. Theoretically, exposure therapy to failure builds resilience. Psychologists call it desensitization. Practically, I learned that starting imperfectly opens doors. A local cafe owner read it, offered me a gig to write their menu, and boom, my first $50 gig. Real-life example. Take that first step, even if it's a wobbly one. Saving for that trip was the big test. I dreamed of seeing the ocean, but my pocket change wouldn't get me past the county line. The walls whispered again. Discipline. I took a part-time job at the Westwood diner, flipping burgers and dodging grease splatters. Theory suggests delayed gratification strengthens willpower. Think marshmallow test fame. Practically, I saved $5 a shift, laughing at my singed eyebrows from the grill. 6 months later, I had $600, enough for a bus to the coast. The waves crashing felt like a reward for every spilled ketchup bottle. Tip: break big goals into tiny wins. The walls won't judge your burnt toast moments. Here's where it gets funny. One night, I was stargazing on the old school roof, daunty tell my mom, when I overheard 2 kids plotting to steal the Pie Festival trophy. I joined them, not to steal, but to prank it with a glitter bomb. We got caught, covered in glitter, and the town mayor, grinning, made us clean it up. That chaos taught me community. Theoretically, social bonds boost motivation. Research shows group goals increase success by 25%. Practically, those kids became my crew, and we started a Westwood cleanup club. We turned trash into art, and I learned teamwork and a little mischief can spark change. Try it. Rally your friends for a silly goal. The walls whispered resilience next. Winter hit hard, and my blog flopped. 0 views for a month. I almost quit, but an old mural on the community center wall read, "Fall 7 times, rise 8. Japanese proverb, right? It's about grit. Psychology calls it a growth mindset. I pivoted, interviewing locals about their toughest winters. One farmer, Mr. Jenkins, shared how he lost his crop but rebuilt with goats. His story went viral, 1,000 views. Practically adapt when plans fail. Theoretically, failure's a stepping stone. Real-life advice: when you hit a wall, paint over it with a new idea. Fast forward to now, I'm 25, and Westwood's walls still guide me. I've traveled twice, published a book of local tales, and play guitar at open mics. The theory: compound effort, small actions stack into big results like interest in a bank. Practically, it's about showing up daily, even when you'd rather binge Netflix. Last month, I helped a teen start her own blog after she saw mine. Her first post, about the whispering walls. It's a cycle. Pass it on. Real-life example. Start today with one step and watch it grow. So, what have we learned from the whispering walls of Westwood? Action over perfection. Small steps to big wins. Community strength. Resilience through failure. And the power of consistency. These lessons turned a shy kid into someone who dares to dream. Subscribe now for more stories that inspire and guide. Next time, we'll uncover another hidden wisdom. Hit that bell, and let's keep the whispers alive together.